Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the June 11th, 2026 meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals. Unfortunately, the chairman is under the weather. He won't be with us tonight. Please rise. Join me in the statue in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Be seated, please. Number one on the hit parade.
First on the agenda is a request for an extension, appeal number 2022-039, HK Ventures, 4285 Middle Country Road in Calverton. They are requesting their third and final one-year extension, thus expiring June 8th of 2027.
Somebody make a motion?
So moved. Second.
Yeah, Mr. Well, he's not here.
Barnes. Aye.
Mr. Zawiski.
Aye.
And Mr. Porter.
Aye.
And I vote aye. Thank you. Any selected date?
So the determination would expire on June 8th of 2027. It's their third and final extension.
Thank you.
Okay. And then first up tonight, we have appeal number 2025-028, 505 Lincoln Street Opportunity Zone Fund, LLC. This was adjourned from January 22nd of 2026. The board granted a lengthy adjournment. We received correspondence from Kim Judd, dated June 10th, 2026. She had already spoken with Charles Cuddy, who is an attorney for the neighboring property owner, and they both agreed to another lengthy adjournment to try and work out parking agreement between the two properties.
Suggested date?
They requested October, so we have two meetings in October. It would be the second and fourth Thursdays of that month, so it would either be October 8th or October 22nd.
Anybody want to make a motion?
So moved.
Which date?
22nd.
Okay.
Second.
All right. Once again, Mr. Barnes.
Aye.
Mr. Zawiski.
Aye.
Ms. Portia.
Aye.
And I vote aye. So October 22nd.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. And next, appeal number 2026-007, Jessica Acevedo, 189 Troutbrook Lane in Aquabog. This was adjourned from the May 14, 2026 meeting. I did reach out to the property owner to see what she was going to decide to do, whether or not she wanted to proceed with the application or if she would redesign to no longer require a variance and or a permit. She agreed to do a 2x1 nameplate sign affixed to the house, so she is withdrawing. She sent me sort of an example of what she was looking to do, which is actually what the zoning board had suggested at the original public hearing. So that
Walker has withdrawn. All right, all in favor, I presume?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. So moved.
okay. Next, appeal number 2026-011, Brian McGinnis, 888 Sound Shore Road in Jamesport, Suffolk County Tax Number 600-8-1-14, Residence A40 zoning for a proposed rear deck. Applicant requests variances and or relief from Town Code Chapter 219-14A2, where proposed deck is not specifically allowed development under 219-14 subsection B. All development in bluff areas is prohibited unless specifically allowed by 219-14 subsection B. This was heard on May 14th and adjourned to this date. In the interim, we did receive a proposed revegetation plan for the property based on discussions that the zoning board had with the applicant, prepared by Doug Adams of Young Associates.
That's to remedy the violation of clearing without the permit.
Correct. Based on the aerial images that Doug looked at, he restored the area that was disturbed near the top of the slope and bluff to what was originally there before the clearing occurred, all with appropriate plantings for a bluff area.
Wasn't there another issue about proof of other similar properties? Is that correct?
We were going to look at similar situations where
Right.
somebody had just gone for an extension or an enlargement of just a deck. We started looking at some applications.
By the way, for the record, you want to raise your right hand? Swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Put your hand down, please, in a loud, clear voice. Please state your name and your address.
Robert Stromsky, here to represent the property owner and applicant, Mr. Brian McGinnis. I live in 44 Circle Drive, Jamesport, New York.
I'm sorry, Mr. Scrops, I interrupted you. Were talking about those other matters, those other properties.
Sure. So what we had brought up a situation where I had made reference that there were similar types of developments within the area. Looking at it, I had actually even engaged local counsel to possibly look at some properties. The one thing that we didn't find was in situations where there was just a deck and not the enlargement of the house as well. We found similar areas where there's a lot larger decks, but it's a larger house. So I didn't want to do an exhaustive search on those type of properties since it really wasn't exactly relevant to what we were doing as just a deck extension. So what we had done in the meantime is we kind of looked at the situation. I discussed some options with Mr. McGinnis, and one of the things that was brought up at the last meeting was the possibility of using some sort of a cantilever to bring back the disturbance further away from the bluff. So one of the things we had done is structurally looked at the framing. We looked at the possibility of using a pressure-treated engineered lumber for the joist spans. So what we feel that we could do is we can make the column line, instead of having it out where we had proposed with the 16-foot deck, which would have been 15 feet, is to bring it back to a 12-foot standpoint from the house. At that point, we would only need 3 piers to support the girder. They would be hand dug, no larger than 20 inches in diameter. We even discussed the possibility of being on site with Mr. McGinnis just to make sure that no heavy equipment or anything would be used. It would all be done hand dug, just to be very sensitive to the bluff area. And then we looked at the engineered products, and the maximum span that we can do beyond that comfortably, that I would sign off as the architect, would be 3 foot. So one of the things we're proposing, that we reduce from the original 16 to a 15-foot size of the deck, but that the column is going to come back to 12 foot. One of the things also that I didn't really mention before is that we did receive correspondence from the DEC when we did apply for a letter of non-jurisdiction. It appears, and I believe this may have been submitted with the original application, but what we were told from the DEC was that a letter of non-jurisdiction was issued on this property back in 2022, where the applicant at that point was requesting a similar sized deck. It was an 8 foot deep deck, the width of the house, but then a drop down of another 8 foot. So they were going with a similar situation of 16 feet. They had gotten a letter of non-jurisdiction from the DEC at that point with no concerns about what they were looking to do. They also, in turn, were doing the stair beyond the footprint, so they would have been closer to the bluff at that time. What we're doing is our stair is within that footprint, so we're not going beyond. What we're proposing is that 15 foot with the stair. We're staying within that footprint. Another thing was also that we sent them our plan, and they just stated that once the DEC issues a letter of non-jurisdiction, it doesn't expire. So as long as the site conditions didn't change, and that what we're proposing is of very much different significance to what was originally granted a letter of non-jurisdiction. So one of the things we feel is that, we've explained our project to the DEC. We feel that they didn't have any concerns. We feel that if we try to move the columns back, that we would, be sensitive more to the disturbance near the bluff, and we feel that very confident that we could do that with hand tools and make it very minimal disturbance. Essentially, once that material is dug, sonotubes would be put in, the concrete would be poured that day, and that grade would be, graded around the deck, and then then seed that and create an issue where there wouldn't be any erosion concerns. And even for the event, we are proposing silt and hay bale fence along the edge of the bluff, again, just to try to be as sensitive as we can.
Okay.
We felt that
Anyone in?
would have been at least, trying to be sensitive to some of the concerns that were raised up at the last meeting. And we also felt that, looking back at the DC and really looking at what was originally applied to the DC was very similar to what we were doing.
Anybody, any council?
So
Council?
will you supply a new plan to us?
I actually had created one. If the board was amenable to that idea, I did do the diligence of drawing a new site plan with a 15-foot deck.
Can we just look at it real quick?
I brought 3 copies. I think
Camera?
that would be enough.
You want to put it up there?
Yeah.
Justin, could we get the camera on the ceiling? Thank you.
I also have 3 other copies. You want to look at it as well.
Thank you. I'll pass them down here.
Thank you.
Rob, on the building permit application, it says that the original deck was proposed 20 by 22.
Yeah, so
So, like,
we're
what was roughly
reducing it much more to 15.
Okay.
So it's essentially 12 with the 3-foot cantilever.
Yes.
Any members of the board have any inquiries, any questions?
No.
Anybody in the audience? Nobody on Zoom?
No one on Zoom.
Let me make a motion. This will be part of the record, obviously.
Do you want to?
I make a motion that we accept Mr. Stromsky's updated survey and plan as provided.
All right, once again, Mr. Barnes,
Aye.
Mrs. Zelinski.
I apologize for
Mr.
interrupting. Can we include the requirement for the implementation of the landscape plan?
Do you want to just write that up? Second motion.
No, actually, what was before the board now was just to make this a part of the record. And
Okay.
I vote aye. Now, as to the application itself, you want to write it up or?
He's writing it up right now.
I can keep the copy on
This
the.
is a card that in addition to.
I can keep that for the file.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can keep all the copies that I just put in, so if you need any additional hard copy, let me know.
Well, I think that's what we were looking for. Thank you. We appreciate your effort and trying.
I appreciate you working with us.
Thank you.
I think we have the motion. Yeah. You want to change it anyway?
I gave it, wrote it for John.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Vice Chairman and the rest of the board, with respect to appeal number 2026-011, I move that the appeal of Brian McGinnis, 888 Sound Shore Road, Jamesport, STM number 600-8-1-14, Residence A40, RA40 zoning, variances and/or relief from the Town Code, Chapter 219-14A2, where proposed deck is not specifically allowed development under Section 219-14, subsection B. All development in bluff areas is prohibited unless specifically allowed by Section 219-14, subsection B, be granted with a 12-foot deck with a 3-foot cantilever, subject to compliance with the restoration and vegetation plan in accordance with the applications and sketches with amendments thereto, if any, as filed with the building inspector.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All right, Mr. Barnes,
Aye.
Mr. Zawisky,
Aye.
Mr. Forcia,
Aye.
and I vote aye. Good night, I carry yourself.
Thank you very much, appreciate it.
The board is ready for the last appeal. It's appeal number 2026-012, Joy Ordioni, 735 Manor Lane, Jamesport, Suffolk County Tax Map number 600-22-1-1.2, Agricultural Protection Zoning to legalize a pergola and 2 sheds. Applicant requests variances and/or relief from Town Code, Chapter 301-37A, 1A, where 2 sheds, 1 directly on property line, and pergola in front yard, where accessory structures are not permitted in the front yard. I will note for the record that after the legal notice was published and the agenda was posted, packets were circulated to the board members. The applicant's representative sent an email last week saying that there were actually 3 sheds. I wasn't aware that the building department updated the denial letter to reflect 3 sheds until earlier this week. So I'm not, if the council wants to speak on that, we can sort of address that and some other issues on the
All right,
property.
first, ma'am, you want to raise your right hand? Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
And
Put
before
your
we
hand down,
proceed-
please.
Before we proceed, can I just have the affidavit? Thank you.
In a loud, clear voice, would you please state your name and your
Brooke
residence?
Epperson with A&P Architecture, the agent for the homeowner.
All right, you understand you may have to repost?
Sorry.
Do you understand you may have to repost on this?
Yes.
Really, do you want to go forward with this time until because what we anticipate is if you repost, what could happen is someone could show up and you have to respond to them.
Okay, that's,
It's the zoning board of appeals recommendation that this matter be adjourned for several reasons. One, it's going to have to be reposted. 2, the survey is going to have to be corrected. There are encroachments located within the agricultural easement that should be identified, 1, and addressed. In addition, the survey fails to identify all the areas that truly exist regarding impervious surface. That should be addressed. The survey should identify the impervious surface coverage. In addition, there are some inconsistencies between the application and the short EAF. And there are several locations of the application that are incomplete. I'll give you a for instance. Relief had been previously granted by this board for the pool. So, there are a lot of blanks or inconsistencies between the EAF and the application that the zoning board would like to provide you the opportunity to correct, resubmit, especially in as much as you're going to have to republish and post.
okay.
Do you get all that, ma'am?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Just to be clear, so they have the survey, but then they have the site plan, and that's where they have all of their calculations. You want them to update the site plan to reflect all conditions on site, including the 3rd shed,
Yeah.
impervious surface, and the encroachments in the ag easement?
Yep, but it's got to identify the encroachments within the agricultural buffer.
In the agricultural easement. Okay. So we don't need the survey updated, just our site plan. Okay.
Yeah, because that's what I think the building department did their denial letter off of. And, the site plan is stamped, so it's a viable document for the zoning board to review in terms of relief.
Ma'am, how long do you anticipate to do all that?
I say if we can postpone a month, would that be okay? Okay.
It's a date, approximately one.
July 9th. So as long as I have everything in, like, everything updated, a new denial letter by June 24th, I can run the legal notices on July 2nd, and that'll get you to the July 9th meeting. And if the poster is still in good shape, you can just update the date on that.
Just rewrite over
Yes.
it? Okay.
All right, so we'll make a motion to adjourn it to July 9th.
I move to adjourn it to July 11th. Second.
Aye.
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 I vote aye. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
You too.
Heather, it's July 9 or July 11?
July 9th.
July 9th.
Nine.
Today is June 11th.
Yeah.
But the first meeting in July is July 9th.
All right, as to the meeting minutes for the board on April 23rd this year, as well as May 14th. Anybody make a motion that they be approved?
So moved.
Second.
All right.
And Anne Marie, did you?
Mr. Chairman, before we close, one other matter. I received correspondence for council representing ZB Breezy Hill, essentially seeking to supplement the prior submission.
All right, let me just finish this first. All right, as to the minutes, Mr. Barnes?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewinsky?
Aye.
Mr. Porsche?
Aye.
And I vote aye. And I'm sorry, I interrupted you saying?
So I received correspondence, Council for Breezy Hill. He's requesting that the zoning board consider that late submission. It didn't make it on for this agenda. If you'll recall, the planning board still has not completed SECRA necessary for the zoning board to make a determination. So I don't think it,
All right, someone want to make a motion that we consider that? Anybody?
I make a motion that we consider the late submission.
Second.
All right, Mr. Barnes?
Aye.
Mr. Porsche?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewinsky?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Do you
Thank
want
you.
me to add that to the next agenda?
yes, just added that we had
You
conducted it
received
tonight.
correspondence. Okay.
Yep.
All right,
So our next meeting date is June 25th, 2026.
all approved? All approved. All right, good night.
Motion to close?
Yeah,
Yeah.
all approved?
Aye.
Aye. Motion's